I am in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, Kentucky is known for many things. What's the first thing you think of? Probably KFC, then bourbon, but then horses, and I am at the premier Kentucky horse attraction, Kentucky Horse Park. So let's go see some horses. Actually, before I head in, this is the grave of Manowar, the horse with the best name, but also probably the most famous horse in history. I guess these are all the races he won. That's a lot. I guess here you can see how far they could jump. That's the start right there. And then that's John Henry, Secretariat, and Manowar, 28 feet. That's actually really impressive. Manowar won about every race he did, and his prime time was when he was really young, in the roaring 20s. So he's well loved by all the people who bet on him and received lots of money. So in turn, they've given him this massive grave site. It's one of the most impressive graves I've ever seen. He died in 1947. A few months before that, his groom and pal Will Harbutt died. And I guess most people believe that he died of a broken heart. After his death, his entire body was embalmed, and he was put in a massive casket and had a 2-day viewing period. Along with that, one of the most massive funerals in Kentucky history, all for a horse. So Manowar is buried in the ground there, inside of a massive casket. You did good, Manowar. You did good. Here's some more horse graves along here. I think some of these might be Manowar's offspring, but none of them did, as well as Manowar, deserve that. Here's a monument to Isaac Burns Murphy, who was one of the first African American horse racers. He was born a slave. This is a statue of a horse considered second to Manowar, Secretariat. Secretariat is not buried here, but Secretariat is still honored with this massive statue. Secretariat won Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, and the Preakness Stakes, and Secretariat is a very famous horse. So Weeping Willow. Here's two little baby horses. This horse right here is an American hero. This is Staff Sergeant Reckless. Staff Sergeant Reckless served in the Korean War, and during the 5-day Battle of Outpost Vegas in March 1953, she made 51 round trips in a single day from the ammunition supply point to the firing sites. She carried hundreds of rounds of ammunition between sites. She saved the lives of several wounded soldiers as well, and she got wounded twice but kept going on, and she survived the war. Alright, I'm gonna watch the breeds parade at the breeds barn.
It derives from the Spanish word mesteño, and that translates to the traditionally nomadic group, at times through history known as gypsies or travelers or Romani. Well, they bred the banners have all of the traits that their lifestyles demanded. You see, what they really needed was a unique type of draft horse. One that was kind enough to be handled by the kids and all the family, but also didn't. His full name is Shamrock's Billy O'Brien, and he's a veteran. He is one of 2 gypsy years. The name Akal Teke is actually quite modern. It's 2 words. The first is Akal, A-K-H-A-L. That's an oasis in ancient Persia. Turkmenistan, a country bordered by Iran, Afghanistan, and the Caspian Sea. Well, that is the Akal Teke. Talk about a time of new beginnings. In 1789, George Washington becomes our first president, and a horse named Figure is sold in Massachusetts. Well, Figure is sold, and when he he arrives at his new owner's farm in Vermont, he's got a rough look and a dull coat. In other words, his new owner, a poor schoolmaster, was not impressed. Woodbury Morgans were the pleasure horse, and they were riding and parade horses.
Forming a romantic arch that is true to his Spanish roots. This is La Garrocha.
Now, Angel, our rider, and Echo, our horse, they're bringing history alive with this traditional Spanish and Latin American discipline. I'm not going to talk over it, it'll ruin it, but I can tell you one thing, they do much better when you guys get involved with clapping. So feel free to join in. Located in the northern Netherlands, well, that was settled way back in 500 BCE. Its early history included elegant horses with very pure bloodlines. Prior to the Reformation in Europe, these Frisian horses were raised by the monks in the monasteries of the area, and from the Middle Ages onward, they were also ridden by knights. Type. That meant that by 1913, only 3 purebred Frisian stallions remained in Friesland. Their breed was saved during World War II. The Frisian, the Uncle Sunday, and the American Morgan horse.
Hey.
So, do we need to go around and see all the people?
Yeah.
He is unique too because he does have blue eyes. So we have another gypsy banner here. He just has brown eyes. But
This is some old horse-drawn farming equipment. See, horses used to till the land. I guess they would carry this thing, as you can see in that there photo. McCormick Deering Riding Cultivator. That is the steel plow. That thing is a corn planter. I guess it would be carried and it would drop the little seedlings in a row. The Van Brunt grain drill. That's the McKinsey potato planter, carried by 2 horses. Looks like there's a bunch of horses practicing their walking down there. There are a lot of horses here at Kentucky Horse Park. Right next to the Breed's Parade Barn is a horse cemetery. I guess those horses always have to look out their past brethren. It is a cemetery of horses. This is Rodney, racing champion. I guess these are all graves maybe from the Walnut Hill stud farm. Princess Gay, Hilda. Never been to a horse cemetery before. This is very interesting. Alright, now let's go into the big barn. This is Belgian, from Belgium. some old carriages. I guess this used to be used at the horse park like 40 years ago. This is Kaiser. Don't try to invade France, okay? And this is the king. His name is Elvis. Statue of Brett Hanover, the horse. I'm guessing the grave of Princess Rooney. Bluegrass region around here has lots of fancy horse farms designed to make fast runners for the Kentucky Derby and other events around here. But what's kind of sad is a lot of these horses, they'll have like fully air-conditioned barns, like they're actually really nice, millions of dollars, but like they have a higher standing of living than like hundreds of thousands of actual Kentuckian humans. This guy's name was the Phoenix, and he was well known, the star of the show ring. Now let's head into the International Museum of the Horse. This is a display on Secretariat, one of the most famous horses in history. I guess these are a lot of Secretariat's awards. That is a tooth of Secretariat, and that's a lock of hair. That's a Conestoga wagon. This one apparently belonged to Louis XVI. They have a massive collection of old horse-drawn sleighs, buggies, carriages. It's a Landau from 1906. Look, they have a lot of variety. This is a basket governess cart. A ladies' phaeton from the 1880s. This is a top road buggy and another phaeton. These are beautiful buggies. They probably have one of the best collections I've seen. These are all awards from the 70s. Which are considered the best time in thoroughbred racing. This was won by a horse named Affirmed. So Affirmed the horse is clearly very popular. This all belonged to Affirmed's trainers. The gold ones on top are all Kentucky Derby trophies. That's done in Louisville, and these ones are all Preakness stakes, which I believe are held at Keeneland here in Lexington. Wow, that's a lot of horse trophies.
People ask, you know, if you serve in combat, are you ever? I had 42.
There are so many horse trophies here.
You begin to become somebody other than yourself.
It keeps going on. These are pretty fancy trophies. Also, these were all from one farm, the Calumet Farm, which I guess is a factory for thoroughbred horses. This is one of the earliest horse trophies from 1853. And these documents are prehistoric because they're some of the first that had the name Lexington on them. So they've been doing horse races since the 1850s. This is the Lexington Bull from 1854. This is pretty cool. This is the skeleton of Lexington, the racehorse, who died in 1875. And this is actually owned by the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. And they have it on loan here. It's very cool. That's a terracotta horse from southern India. These are some ancient horses. Really, if you think about it, the first horses that were tamed and domesticated by humans completely changed the world.
In body size or changes in the skull, which of course change him. We do a great deal of scientific analysis, including biochemists looking at residues that are.
It's a replica of the Sumerian battle wagon from 2600 BC. This display shows some replicas of artifacts related to horses in ancient times when they were first domesticated, including some replica Greek and Roman friezes, This shows Attila the Hun's great mounted army attacking Constantia in 441 AD. Horses became critical for transportation in the Middle East and Asia. That's a Tang Dynasty horse zodiac figure. Some medieval jousting. Looks like they're taking that horse to the New World. Here are some spurs from colonial times. Here's some of the early quarter horse races, starting in 1770. Here's some colonists riding on a horse. This shows the importance of horses in building the first roads out west to areas like Lexington. This is kind of reminding me of the house on the rock a little bit. That's a horseshoe collection. Some artifacts from early horse racing. A horse medicine exhibit. Even more horse racing trophies. These are the trophies of J. Trump, who I don't think is related to the president's family, but he was America's best steeplechaser. Black horsemen did have to overcome so many obstacles, just like in other professions, and many of the early horsemen were still enslaved. These are paintings of some important black horsemen. A copy of Harper's Weekly from 1886 about the Buffalo Soldiers. Here's some Russian harness racing trophies. Here's the rodeo. And one of these before. Lined up on this wall are all different types of horse sports. Jumping, endurance, polo, and harness racing. And this is an Arabian horse exhibit. Guess this here is the Arabian horse. The Arabian horse is one of the oldest breeds in the world, and they adapted to living in the desert. It's a Bedouin camp.
The legend of the bloody-shouldered mare.
كان يا مكان في قديم الزمان.
One day, in the midst of a fierce battle, the warrior was cut down by an enemy's sword and lay wounded towards home. For days and days she moved quietly over the desert. Cast against the sand, their shadow led her on. Nothing, the mare
I did not realize this place was this massive. I meant to hit like 2 other things today. This is a monument to the great American Morgan horse. Like right here, there's General Philip Sheridan, and Rhindsey. I have seen his taxidermy body at the National Museum of American History, which I have a video on. I'm gonna go into the American Saddlebred Museum. Right here is a statue of Supreme Sultan. He says he was the greatest sire of modern times. He literally rewrote the record book and achieved goals never before dreamed of. Good job, Supreme Sultan. Alright, so this is inside the Saddlebred Museum. Looks like these are some children's push carriages. So the Saddlebred is a specific type of horse that's usually used in shows. Here, these are some mechanical horse rides. Here's a woman and a horse spliced in half. This is a fine harness and buggy, so I guess above the usual one. This is cool. It's an antique watering trough. Here's some Louisville horse show winners over the years. They're redesigning most of the museum, so most of it's not open right now. That's a very elaborate saddle. This is the grave, or maybe just the gravestone, of Rex Peavine, 1796, foaled 1899, died 1925. Alright, that was Kentucky Horse Park. Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this. I wasn't sure what to expect, but this is really good attraction. Definitely recommend it. If you like this video, I have other videos at roadside attractions and museums. Haven't been to any other horse attractions. Yeah, so please go check those out and also subscribe. Thanks for watching.